Today's World Cup squad to review is Tunisia. They're nicknamed the Eagles of Carthage, named after the ancient city in the same region, as well as you can see the eagle on their crest. Tunisia either wear all white or all red, whether that be their home or their away color. They've flipped back and forth throughout some eras between having one or the other be that primary color. This one was their home kit from the 2018 to 2020 era, and my favorite little element to it is the little sprinkles of red, right down the flanks of it. And a fun little tidbit there, and I said 2018 to 2020, which is a long lifespan for a kit if you're thinking about a club, which routinely have a new kit every single season. International teams sometimes will take longer stretches where they'll have the same kit. Some even do one kit specifically for a tournament, like you'll see with a lot of the new World Cup kits for this year. They're managed by Jalil Qadri, who has been a manager at club level for 12 different Tunisian clubs before being appointed as the national team manager earlier in January. They're captained by Youssouf Massakni, who alongside Wabi Khazri of Montpellier in France are two of their all-time leading goal scorers with 17 and 24 goals apiece as their two key forwards in this tournament. As far as honors, they won their first African Cup of Nations in 2004 when they were the hosts of the tournament, as well as winning the African Nations Championship in 2011, meaning just this century they are starting to find their footing as far as continental success. They have a World Cup claim to fame, being the first ever African or Arab nation to win a World Cup match, defeating Mexico 3-1 in 1978. This is part of a group stage where they lost to Poland, but did draw with West Germany, who were the defending world champions at the time. They have competed in 20 African Cup of Nations tournaments, as well as 5 World Cups, although they have yet to move beyond the group stage. Two quick things about Tunisia before we go into a World Cup preview. Their federation was founded in 1957 after independence was gained from France, and they played their first ever match shortly thereafter against their neighbors Algeria, who had also just gained independence from France, following a pretty vicious war during the decolonization period in the north of Africa. Second is to let you know who their international rivals are. They're their fellow North African countries of Morocco, Algeria, as well as Egypt. So let's take a look at Tunisia in this World Cup. They're in pretty good form going into the tournament, seeing as the only blight amongst their previous couple of matches is a 5-1 loss to Brazil in Paris, and that's not really something you can hold against almost any country in the world. They do have 2 previous matches that they were in good form, beating Japan as well as Chile in their tune-up matches for the World Cup. They find themselves in Group D alongside France, Denmark, and Australia, meaning that they're there with a giant of the tournament, France, as well as a dark horse to win or go deep into the tournament in Denmark, and a more evenly matched opponent in Australia. I'll find myself awake at 3 a.m. Mountain Time here in Colorado, at a friend's house watching that Australia match, seeing as 2 friends that are close will be rivals that day, with one being Tunisian and one being Australian, and that will be amazing to watch. I have 2 wishes for that. 1, that their friendship doesn't end, and 2, that it's not a 0-0 draw. This draw for Tunisia in Group D proves a very difficult one for them, also for Australia, seeing as France and Denmark are both expected to move on to the group stage at their expense. This match against Australia does prove the point that they can take a victory or a draw, which may be their only points in the tournament.